Okay, so let's finish this guy off. We need to put on the tail, and that won't take near as long. So let's go back over to our part studio. So we're going to need this piece here, which is part 7. We're going to need a couple of these, which is part 8. And last but far from least, we need this long, thin stick. Oh, well, actually, no, one more than that. I'm sorry. Part 2, and then this piece here, part 6. So 6, 7, 8, and 2 is what we need. So let's go down here, and let's go ahead and insert 6, 7, 8, and 2. So 6, 7, 8. So here's 6. So that's going to be one of the sticks that we're going to need to support the tail. And we've got 7, which is the centerpiece, and 8. I know we're going to need 2 of those, one on either end, so I'll do that. And let me double check again. This guy, this thin one here, is part 2. So actually we need 2 of 6. So let me come back over here. And let's get ourselves another one of those part 6s. Alright, we'll put those 2 right there. And we'll come back for that last piece. So these are the ones that are going to be going across this way. So what we need to do, of course, is we need to orient them perpendicular to where they are. So I'm going to highlight those 2 parts. Oops, I failed. Let me try it again. I'm going to select both of them. And I'm going to rotate them 90 degrees. Like so. Okay. And just like we did in the last case, let's go ahead. I'm going to do a bottom view. And this is my center beam. So I'm going to fasten the center of this piece right here. And I want to put it, I want to go a top view onto, for example, the right there. And then we're going to say OK. And now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the center of this one right here. And once again, I'm going to switch to a top view. And I want to put the top of this and say OK. Alright, so we're getting our frame pieces together. Now all we have to do is stick on these 2 orange ones. Okay, we'll do the same thing we've been doing every time. I'm going to go to the bottom. I'm going to select this. I'm going to the top. And I'm going to select this right here. And just like every other time, it's not quite on, it's on the center. We need to move this over a little bit. How much? 1.65 in the direction of X and a positive number. So I'm going to put in 1.65. Okay, and that one's good. Then I'm going to go to the bottom view. And I'm going to select the center of that. And then I'm going to go top view again. And I need to put it right here. And in this case, again, my X is on this side, so I need to go a negative. So I need to offset it a negative 1.65. Like that. Awesome. I now have completely attached that. So once again, let's do our planer mount. So I'm going to take and select a planer, and I want to put on the, I'm going to put it on the top surface of this stick, and I want the bottom surface of this, and I want to say OK. And, oh, I've lost my wing. Dang it. Hold on, let me fix that. Oh, and that broke apart. All right, let me fix a couple of these. I'm just going to reattach it, and give me a moment. Okay, I finally got it fixed. Turns out it was better to, when I do the planar mount, it was better to attach the bottom of this to not the center of this, but rather to the end, and then just slide it along. It appears as though if I tried to put two pieces reference to the middle and then slid them back and forth, they would just kind of error. So right now it works great if I select it on the end and slide it in, and everything is good. And now you can see my glider. Okay, and then if I select all of this, I can then find out information about it, so far as, for example, its mass and its center of gravity. Okay, so we can start planning out our airplane. The only other thing we need to do is put the propeller on, and I can do that. I can insert. I'm going to go to other documents, and here's my propeller, and I'm going to insert it right here. We're done with that. And then once again, I probably want to orient it. Notice how it's not facing the right direction at all. Okay, so let's first do a spin. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees this way, like that. And now I need to rotate it 90 degrees this way. Okay, now I've got that up like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to group this, make sure I don't get anything else, and let me find it. There's a group one here. Give me a moment. Let me pause it and find it. There it is. I'm going to group that. Okay, so I've made that a grouping. And then I'm going to do the same thing I've done before. I'm going to go ahead. Now, I want to stick this. So I'm going to take and fasten this flat surface right there onto the nose of my glider right there, and then say OK, and then sign off on it. And there you have it. Okay, I've got my fully assembled glider. We're ready for analysis. And the last part, which I'll shoot for one last video here in a bit, is how to actually put this onto the laser cutter so we can make it. So this next video will be my last, and I'll see you again shortly.